She hears the tail end of that conversation with Juan, and so she kind of stands there and she's definitely glaring at him, and she waits.
Does she
She kind of
know how I look like, or did Naila just
she,
told him, "No, yeah, that's my
she heard
ex-boyfriend"?
she heard
Oh, I
your
heard
name.
myself presenting. Okay, fuck.
So she definitely hears your name, and she kind of glares at you for a bit, and she kind of waits to see if you'll notice.
I think Juan at this point has taken one too many drinks, and he's just talking with this cute service lady, so he wouldn't notice.
Coward.
He, I'm in character.
So she goes once she sees that Juan's not noticing, she'll go up to the same server lady, and she'll say one pumpkin pasty, please.
Oh, here, of course, she says with a smile.
And
Oh, they're
I
really
must
good.
I must ask, there's no pork products in this at all.
Are
She says, she says, not at all, though the crust is made with butter, if that's okay.
Butter is okay, and no alcohol was used.
No, I believe it's just pumpkins, cinnamon, sugar. She goes through the
Yep.
ingredients, and they seem legit. They seem
Okay.
legit.
all the good stuff.
She says, I'm Muslim, you see, so I have to ask these questions before I eat anything.
Of course, ma'am. Absolutely,
Oh,
ma'am.
Muslim. Ah, that's cool.
The beef Wellingtons are just beef. No other pork products added, just so you know.
Thank you for letting me know.
Oh yeah, they are supposedly very good.
She turns to you, and she takes a bite. She takes a bite of the pumpkin pasty, and she says, "So, I hear your name is Juan de la de Vera. Is that true?"
Oh, yeah, to your service.
Mm-hmm.
And you are.
Anira El Hakim.
The moment you say your name, Juan's face drops and he's like, "Oh, but was I beating you?" And he will just like, "See you later, sir, lady, nobody, bye." And he'll just take one more pastry and start walking away.
She takes his shoulder. She takes his shoulder, and she says, "Boy, you really don't want to cross me any more than you have."
That's a good point. Okay, nice meeting you.
I
Hey,
wish I
hey,
could.
nobody. I don't know your name. I'm very sorry. Can you get me that drink? I think I'm gonna need it for this conversation.
Oh,
There's there's alcohol in that drink.
I would like to drink an alcoholic drink right now.
You know, Muslims typically don't approve of alcoholic drinks.
Thank God I'm not a Muslim.
But I would prefer if your head is clear for this conversation.
A little too late for that, but I'll do my best.
I will just let you have your conversation, the woman says awkwardly, and she will go and start to serve some of the other guests.
Juan would
Very,
have looked at her with like pleading eyes, like trying to say, "Help me."
yeah, very, very politely as she's going off, Anira says, thank you very much. Thank you very much." And she turns back to Juan. So, Juan, she just waits to see what you're going to say.
So, uh, it's nice meeting you. I heard you are Naila's sister, right? She
I
talked
am.
about you.
I am. Her older sister, in fact.
Yeah, yeah. She mentioned that. I just want to say that I'm sorry. I don't know, that doesn't help, but I am truly sorry. I'm just gonna eat another pumpkin.
she's like casually eating little little bits of the pumpkin pasty as he's floundering, and and
Look,
she
I know I was bad boyfriend for Naila. I know she's a great girl. I'm a bad man. Maybe I'm too stupid. I don't know what you want from me, lady. Please just tell me and I do it.
You really want to give me that much power over you right now?
Maybe not everything. Fuck it. Yes, why not?
She just she sighs and she puts down the pasty and she says, "Let me tell you a little something about our culture, Juan. you know that that Muslim culture is very family oriented. And you know that typically, traditionally, it's the older brothers in the family who protect their sisters. Naila and I have no brothers, so that makes me, technically, the brother in this family."
Juan will just gulp.
Gulp.
She kind of casually takes the pasty again and she says, "Are you a Christian, Juan?"
Catholic, actually.
Catholic. From what I understand of other religions, when you ask for forgiveness from someone, what does that entail exactly?
Well, you have to truly wish that you didn't do the thing you did, and actually, like for example, our priest gives us uh, a homework that we have to fulfill for us to earn the apology, a penitence, if you would say so.
I believe that's somewhat similar with Islam actually. You see, what happens when you commit a sin or you commit some offense against a person, the offense is not just against God, it's also against another person. And it's not enough for God to forgive you. The other person must also forgive you. And it is entirely possible for people to go to hell if the other person does not forgive them. So when I say what I'm about to say, Juan, I want you to understand my full meaning. Naila, I believe, has forgiven you. I have not.
Uh, uh, I I don't know what to say. I'm just sorry.
She's my little sister, and she was deeply hurt. You understand why I feel this way.
I do. I do. I'm not very good at relationship stuff. So I just want you to know that it was never my intention to hurt her.
Have you spoken to her since then?
We've talked, yes.
And your conversations were friendly?
I would say so.
I noticed you seem to be flirting with that server over there.
Uh, maybe. But I'm just gonna shut up.
The only thing I want from you is to treat her better than you treated my sister.
You're making me feel so bad myself. Okay. Uh, I mean, I don't know if anything's. Yes. Yeah, I can do that. Yes.
You at this moment, you're gonna actually start hearing music uh, in the background, guitar music in the background. And for anyone else who is paying attention, it looks like Rodney has pulled out his guitar again, and he's actually singing another tune to a small gathering of people, including Hunter and Joe.
And Anira listens for a while. She just finishes the pasty, and she looks at Juan and she says, "I may be able to forgive you,
Thank you.
but trust me, you don't want to get on my bad side."
I think I can say that I know that now.
Have a good day, Juan.
You too.
When you finish that conversation, Naila is going to wave at Anira, and she's going to try to wave her towards her.
Mm-hmm. She goes over to Naila.
And when Anira goes away, Juan will just sigh and be like, I'm so bad at emotional confrontations.
It's true.
I need another drink.
It's okay, Juan. You have maybe in 20 years you'll be different.
Yeah, maybe in 20 years.
Maybe in 20 years you'll be different.
Let's see if ever.
So Naila will wave you over, and she'll say, "Sis, I'm so glad to see that you're here."
She gives Naila a big hug, and she says, "I'm happy to see you too, Naila."
You missed the ceremony, but it was lovely. I know you didn't really know Levi for very long, but I appreciate you being here just for support.
Yes, he seemed like a good young man when we met.
Oh, sis, I wanted you to meet one of Levi's best friends, Rodney. She says. Hey, nice to meet you. Rodney says with a smile.
She nods to him and says, "Well met, sir."
He'll hold out his hand to shake.
She shakes also.
It says, "Man," he says, "your clothes, like both of you, like they're so pretty," he says.
Well, this is our traditional Muslim. These are our traditional Muslim headscarves known as hijabs.
Hey, he says, if you got it, then work it, I say.
Well, I believe Naila is better at working it than I am. She looks at her sister with some pride.
She chuckles a little bit, and she also leans in and she says, "Also, sis, I don't know if you remember that article I showed you about the guy who had a squib school or is trying to start a squib school, but that's the founder over there, Levi's dad, Joe Lionheart."
She looks over pretty surprised when she hears that, and she says, "Wait a second. So that's him right there?"
Oh yes, right, yeah, in the flesh.
Oh, I should go talk to him. I think maybe I could give him some ideas.
I think that's a great idea. He's really nice. He might be a little off his game right now, but
Of course, that's understandable, and I don't know if I want to make his day any worse, but maybe at least if we exchange contact information.
why don't I introduce you then?
Yes, please do.
So she will take a hold of your hand, and you will walk towards Joe, who right now is helping himself to another pumpkin pasty from the tray, and he's just eating it slowly. Oh, Mr. Lionheart, please Naila, call me Joe. Of course. Joe, have you met my sister, Anira, yet? He wipes his hand on his coat, and he says, "Can't say that I have." Joe Lionheart. It's a pleasure.
Hello, sir. It's a pleasure as well.
Are you in the area? Did you, by any chance, know Levi at school as well?
Well, no, actually, I'm older. I'm older than Levi was. I actually met Levi on New Year's night when everything went down, and he seemed like such a nice young man.
Yeah, that was the night that I tried to tell him to stay put, but he didn't stay put. He just had to go out there and save everybody, I guess.
Well, he did his best, and that's all we can ask for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that. I guess so.
Sir, I know this is a very difficult time for you, and please accept my sincere condolences. But Naila was actually telling me about your squib school.
Oh, yes. You heard about that. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to continue, unfortunately.
Well, I hope you will. I am actually a squib myself.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
He perks up slightly at that. So you didn't go through the normal wizarding school system yourself?
No, sir. I went through just regular Muggle school, and I graduated from a Muggle university. But I actually my studies were in chemistry and also a little bit of engineering. And my studies and my research have led me to try to emulate some wizarding spells. Of course, nothing's perfect, but it at least makes me feel like I'm magical.
Well, I think your ideas might be helpful. He pulls up a chair a little bit. If you don't mind me saying, the school it's been struggling a little bit. I've been trying to get funding for it, but I haven't been getting as much support from the ministry as much as I wanted to, and of course with the war happening, a lot of the funds that they would have given to us to provide school supplies and other things are obviously going towards the war. So that's part of the reason why I'm not sure if it's something that we could continue, especially since it's been pretty much run by myself. But if I had some help, I could use another professor, perhaps?
Well, I'm hardly a professor, sir, but I could at least maybe teach some of the things I know. I do have a few tricks that have helped me out of some tight spots. If nothing else, I think it would be good for squibs to be able to defend themselves as well as wizards can.
From what I understand, you are trapped between two worlds, not necessarily completely belonging to either. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is true. And myself, I feel neutral in this war, but I do my best to try to help people who are caught in the middle, same as I am.
Well, I appreciate your openness. One of my students, Thaddeus, was mentioning something like that to me, and he's actually right over there, he says, pointing at Thaddeus and some of the other squib kids. Bright boy. Can't wait to see what he will grow up into, especially, hopefully, giving the opportunities that we've been trying to give him. You know, the other day he was asking me about whether or not he could clean up Levi's room one last time, just like old times. I thought it was very sweet, but I told him I kind of want to keep his room the way it is, just the way he left it, you know?
I understand. Well, if if you need if you at the very least I could come in as a guest speaker one day, and if they seem to be interested in what I show them, I would be happy to try to come on regularly.
I will gladly accept any help that we can get, and I know that children would definitely appreciate it.
And if if you need help with funding, I can see what I can do. I'm not rich by any means, but consider this a donation in Levi's honor.
He smiles. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And thank you, sir, for all your hard work.
Well, we've lost a lot, more than I ever thought I could bear to lose, and I find a lot of joy in teaching, and even though I've lost one child, I'd like to believe that I can somehow gain a few more in his honor.
I think he would want you to be happy.
I appreciate that. Thank you, my dear, he says.
And she nods to him, and she says again, my condolences to you.
He will give you a nod, and the rest of the reception will continue. So you just finished speaking with Joe, and I think Naila is still chatting with Rodney right now, but you can pull her aside if you'd like, easily.
I think she would hang back and kind of wait until Naila is free.
Okay, I'm gonna say that Rodney and Naila's their conversation will end. He'll maybe go over and start talking with Levi's, like with Hunter, Levi's other dad, and I think Naila will say, "So, are you enjoying the refreshments? The beef Wellington is actually pretty good."
It is. It's excellent. I've I've actually never had it before. And she I think Naila can tell that Anira's a little bit distracted while she's sipping on a drink, and she's nibbling at some of the food.
Naila tilts her head. "What's wrong, sis? What's on your mind?"
She looks up, and she says, it's just so strange. It's a strange feeling. She says, Levi is gone. Uh, I was almost gone a few years ago, the and Hunter Lionheart is over there, and it was almost by his hand. It's just very strange how all of this has come together.
You know, Anira, do you remember what I said one of the things I said to you back at the bookstore on that New Year's Eve? I said that I didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to hurt people. And I sometimes scare myself because sometimes I have these thoughts in my head with everything that's been going on over the last 2 years or so. You know what happened to me just recently, and I heard stories about what would have happened if Brandon Carr didn't save me. Anira, you know that they see the No-Mages and the Muggles, they see the wizards and the witches as terrorists. And that's something that you and I in particular can understand greatly even before the war happened.
Yes, I know. And it's a very I think uh just me walking around among muggles dressed the way I am, the comments I get from people. And that's just me as a regular person. I'm just a squib. I can't imagine what it's like for you as both a Muslim and a magical person.
Every day is a challenge. Every day there are temptations. I want so much to do right to my family, to God, and there are just certain days when things happen that are so unfair, just like what happened to Levi. He didn't deserve this. I heard from Chessa that they were going to get married, that he proposed to her, and this is very, very early, and she only mentioned it to me, saying she wasn't ready to tell everybody, but she's pregnant.
Is she really?
Yes, but she didn't want today to be about her and her pregnancy. She wanted today to be about Levi. So don't repeat that to anyone else.
Of course. Of course. Naila, I know the temptations. I know the temptations can be very strong, and I understand. I understand the anger you might feel sometimes. I mean, I can tell you, I felt a lot of anger toward everyone uh, everyone who did those things to you. I mean, I just got finished talking to Juan, and
Oh,
yes, he's a Morhafel, but other than that, he's not a bad person. And out of character, Morhafel means idiot in Arabic.
you know, it's things between me and Juan. We're okay now.
I know. I was mostly just messing with him. But imagine the feeling I had toward Juan. Now imagine the feeling I had toward those people who did those things to you, and I didn't even know them. I never even met them.
I don't know when it's going to stop, but I don't know if the answer is to just continue hiding or to do something more direct about it. But sometimes I just wonder if that's just going to lead me down the same path that, as terrible as it sounds, to lead me down the same path as Levi.
I don't want to imagine that. I don't want to lose you. She thinks for a while and she says, you know, Naila, I want to apologize to you. I know that I have been, in the past, I have been jealous of you. And I would be lying if I said I didn't still feel that way sometimes. I always felt like you had everyone's affection in the family, because I meant what I said before. You are incredible, and you have such amazing abilities, and I'm so proud of you. But there's still a little part of me that still feels some jealousy, and I want to apologize to you for that.
I'm sorry that you felt that way. I had a feeling, but I never meant to make you feel inadequate. I never meant you to feel less than what you were. I can't help that I have certain gifts, and I can't help that any more than I can't help that you have others that I don't have. Your mind is amazing. Your ingenuity is... I would love to have that, but I know that we can't all have everything. I believe that it all evens out in the end, is what I'm trying to say.
I believe
You just have to look at it from a different perspective.
I believe so too, and I like to think that both of us together, we give very, very different perspectives of something. But I just want you to know. And she takes Nyla's hands and she squeezes them gently and she says, I just want you to know that no matter what happens in this war, no matter what happens, I understand that it may be hard. I understand temptations may come up, but I think this is bigger than either one of us, and I just don't want you to give up.
And I don't want you to either.
And she smiles and she says, I promise I won't.
She'll go in and give you a hug.
She'll give a very tight hug and she says, and by the way, if you meet any new boys, make sure they're good for you.
This is why I love you.
And she takes your hands and squeezes them again.
Speaking of which,
Mm-hmm.
how's Vienno?
She blushes and she says, "Oh, are you gonna tease me again about him?"
Well, she says, you might be the older brother, but I am the ever so curious younger sibling, so you gotta spill.
Well, we are both very busy, of course. We are both very, very busy, but we spend as much time together as possible. And well, we met just last week, actually.
Well, hopefully, eventually, maybe we'll see him at a family dinner. Hopefully.
I would like that. I think mother and father would be very, very happy to meet him. I hope so, anyway.
Well, from what I've heard, I think he's a lovely gentleman, so...
He is. And his inventions have actually been very helpful protecting people.
From what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
In the interest of time, we're going to say that you're going to continue having a conversation, but I think we'll end the scene there.
All right.
So... Roxana, there will be a knock at the door. I don't know if you answer it or if your last servant who's at the house answers it.
She will. I imagine there's no servants left. At this
Okay,
stage.
by this point, okay.
Yeah, probably. So she will go and answer.
You will answer, and to your surprise, you will see Head Mistress Kazima Valentine is at your door, the headmistress of Koldovstorets. In addition to Professor Anna Silva from Castello Brushu. They're both at your door.
She just kind of blinks and she's like, okay, the last time this happened, I set fire to a boy's locker, so I'm not in trouble, am I?
No, very much the opposite, Miss Schvetz. Headmistress says. I apologize for coming in unannounced, but there's been some recent developments which we really need to discuss with you, if we may.
Oh. Come in, can I get you anything? A drink of tea, coffee?
Tea would be lovely, Anna Silva says. Wonderful, dear, thank you, she
Okay,
says.
I'll fix that for you. She'll close the door and she'll go do that.
Roxana Schvetz, once the headmistress and Anna Silva have gotten settled. I take it that you have heard what happened at our school, Koldovstorets.
Unfortunately, yes, I have.
It was an extremely huge loss. We lost a lot of great people during that attack, and we are here because we are trying to avoid that. One of the professors that you may know who unfortunately lost their lives defending Koldovsteretz to the end was Professor Boris Hooch.
Oh.
It was a great loss. He was...
She just kind of looks down immediately, just like...
Roxana, we want this war to end just like anyone else does. And recent developments have revealed to us, according to Ana Silva, that the key to ending this war is with you.
Listen, I need you to understand my situation here. I can't fight in this war. Okay, I cannot. You're here to assist me. I'm not doing that.
We don't need you to fight. Not at all. You don't have to do any fighting. What we do need you to do is research. Research a key element that can turn the tide and end this war before an even greater amount of losses can happen.
Isn't this a thing for Toby Petrov to do? He's a lot smarter than I am. What kind of research do you expect me to do?
It would if the prophecy involved Mr. Petrov, but no, the prophecy involves you, my dear. Valentine, Headmistress Kazima Valentine says.
What prophecy?
The prophecy that I saw last night, Ana Silva says. It is actually less of a prophecy and more of two possible outcomes. One outcome that results in the war ending much later, and one that allows the war to end in a matter of months. But the key to ending this war that quickly, I'm afraid, rests on your shoulders. What I'm about to say to you and inform you of what I saw, Miss Schwetz, is not necessarily going to be very comfortable. I do not judge my visions. I merely deliver what I see. And what I'm about to tell you, I'm sure, will probably put you in a very difficult decision. Uncomfortable decision.
All right, I'll bite.
As you know, Miss Svets, Ana Silva will say, the reason this war is taking so long is simply because the Muggles greatly outnumber the wizard and witches in the community. It has become very difficult for us to defend ourselves, but we continue to fight and we persevere, and we will survive this war. But if the war is allowed to continue waging longer than it needs to, lives from all sides will be lost. I know that we have suffered many losses already. However, the one thing that could turn the tide is the discovery of a new spell. A controversial discovery, but I assure you, the way I saw it, it will ultimately save more lives than it will end. The discovery of the mass killing curse. It is prophesied that you, Roxana, are the one who would have the potential to discover the secrets of the mass killing curse, if you choose to put in the time to research it.
Hold on a second. You expect me, and I'm not going to mince words here. You expect me to commit mass genocide here. Am I wrong in assuming that?
You are not wrong in assuming that, Kazima Valentine says. But at this point, if you want to go by the numbers game, ending the war sooner will save more lives in the long run. The killing curse is effective, but it is single target. Meanwhile, the Muggles, they have mass weapons, nukes, that will wipe out whole nations. We cannot let that happen. It would not be good for muggles or wizards and witches.
Okay. I need you to tell me everything about this vision. I need you to tell me who exactly was killed. Were they soldiers? Were they innocent people? I need to know that.
I did not see specific faces. However, the two paths were revealed to me in this way. If the mass killing curse is discovered, it would be used strategically in specific military regions to end the war as swiftly and efficiently as possible. Naturally, we would exercise as much care as possible to avoid civilian regions and keep collateral damage at a minimum. But yes, many soldiers will perish as the natural cost of war. On the other hand, should the mass killing curse not be used, innocent lives will indiscriminately be lost. Wizards and witches, muggles, children, man and beast. Screams will fill the air as giant mushroom clouds burst in the skies. The land will be corrupted with radiation. People will become incurably ill. Even after the war finally does end years later, the lasting effects on the environment alone will linger for much longer.
Do I have time to consider this?
You have time to consider it, but the longer you wait, the longer the war will potentially wage. Like I said, Valentine says, I know this is a very difficult ask of you, Roxana, but whether you like it or not, this is the best chance that we have at saving the most people as possible.
I'm trying to stay out of this mess. This isn't fair. Why does it have to be me? Couldn't anybody else do this? Why does it have to be me?
It possibly could be. But you are the one that we know of. You are the one that Ana Silva saw the prophecy for. We don't have any other leads. By the time we find somebody else, it could very well be too late.
You need to give me at least a day. I will get back to you.
Of course. We're sorry, Roxana, to put so much on your shoulders. But I hope you understand our hands are tied here. The ministry doesn't have any answers. Negotiations have failed. Neither side has had the opportunity to come up with a suitable compromise. And it's just going to get worse from here. If any one of us has a chance to stop it ourselves, we would. I would. Ana Silva would. But we can't. You can. Just think about it. And with that, Ana Silva will give you a very solemn look on her face, and she says, "My apologies again. I can't control what I see. I could have easily just kept this quiet. But I wasn't sure if it would be more of a disservice for me not to tell you anything and keep you in the dark, than to at least inform you of the truth, of what is at stake."
As soon as the door closes behind them, Roxana's gonna trash the living room. She's gonna grab vases and throw them. There is a huge commotion and screaming and punching walls. and it's a lot of commotion.
Suddenly you'll hear Aika call out, Roxana, what's going on? Doing a little bit of redecorating, I see?
She's just standing like that, like kind of just rocking back and forward, but she's standing. And there's shattered glass coffee table, there's vases that have been thrown around, maybe a pot plant that's been tipped over. It's just bedlam at the moment, and she's just like sitting there like that.
He's going to grab a hold of you and says, hey. All right. I mean, I didn't want to tell you that, the couch's color doesn't really suit the rest of the decor, but I mean, you don't have to take it out on it that severely.
She starts to go gooey. Green and gooey, as she does. And she just like looks up at him. I tried so hard to stay out of this. And I'm going to walk out of it with the most blood on my fucking hands.
You're not making much sense, Roxana. Start at the beginning. What's happening? What's going on? Who was that at that door?
My old headmaster, Anna Silva, showed up. And she's positive that she's had some kind of vision, some epiphany, some prophecy that involves me and ending the war for good.
That's good, right?
No.
Like what happened to Harry Potter? That's good.
No, it's not like that, Aika. It's not some final stand that we're gonna make, that we're all gonna be heroes. They said that I was going to research a mass killing curse. And I have a choice. Actually, no. It's either I do that, or the Muggles kill us all. No, I do.
That is not what I expected when you said that we had a way of ending the war. There has to be another way. That can't be the only way to end the war swiftly.
She said there's two outcomes. It's either it gets ended in months, or it gets ended in years.
Roxana, I know that you independently spent a lot of time researching that spell. Why? Why did you try to learn that spell in the first place?
Originally, I wasn't trying to learn how to cast it. I thought the hoops were the problem, Aika. And I had people I cared about that had them. And I knew Death Eaters wanted them. And I just wanted to see if there was a way I could protect them from it, to do something. But in doing so, I know the birds, know the Vaughn motion. I knew I could do it. And I just kept reading and reading and reading about it. And then in the alley, it was just so easy. It was too easy.
Out of character, just to clarify, the implication is you personally don't have to actually cast the spell. But if you figure out the secret to casting it,
Yeah.
other wizards will be able to learn how.
Yeah.
And they will use it. So you don't actually have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But you will enable.
Yeah.
You will be the one enabling. So just to clarify that you don't actually personally do it. That may still not matter to you. So, anyway, he says, well, isn't fate funny? You of all people who wanted to stay out of this war completely, only to be told that by staying out of this war, it causes more death and destruction. You essentially are being forced to be involved to save the most people. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. Fucking hilarious, right?
I don't know how to advise you on this, Roxana. I mean, on one hand, the allure of learning to unlock the secrets of a spell that many wizards have tried to learn, a Avada, maximum spell for decades, and no one's been able to invent one, and now we're being told that you could be the one that invents it. Yes, I'm sure that you would ultimately save lives, but I don't know if you want to be remembered in history as the one who invented that spell, Roxana. And maybe that's a very selfish thing to say, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
It's just that it's not just when we first use it, it's every time it gets used that adds to my body count. You know what I mean? That is not the last time it's going to be used, because there's always going to be people out there who want to hurt people and kill people. That's why I wanted to stay out of this in the first place. I tried to become a better person, and I thought this was how I was going to do it.
May I make a suggestion? Clearly this burden is too difficult for you to bear, for you to make a decision. May I suggest we seek guidance, opinions from people that you trust the most? How about Albion? Juan? Maybe they could provide some input to help with clarity in deciding this decision. I feel like anything that would prevent you from having to decide this on your own.
I know Albion's answer, and it's no. Juan, I don't know.
I don't know what Albion would say given a choice between killing a few hundred but saving thousands, or having hundreds of thousands die anyway if you don't do anything.
Okay, I'll talk to them. I'll see what they say about it, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Contact them. You have ways of contacting them. Maybe they even can come here in person. And as for Levi, I think I actually have a way that would allow him to weigh in as well.
You do?
Experimental, but I think it could work.
It won't.
Leave that part up to me.
It won't mess with his passing, will it?
No. I assure you it won't. I assure you it will not.
Thank you. Thank you.
He'll pull you in for a hug and he will just say, "It's alright, my piglet. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. You'll see."
Can I make my second most selfish request of you? No matter what I decide, you'll still be in my corner, won't you?
All four of them, of course.
There you go.
Yes, my piglet.
Life is so short. And I don't think we've seen, obviously, the last of our trials and tribulations. And there's a big chance that if it doesn't pan out the way Anna Silva says, we're both going to be dead at the end of this war, so I just want to know if you want to get married.
Married?
Why the fuck not? Life's fucked, Aika. Give me something to be happy about.
He sort of like rubs his neck. I admit that I sort of saw me asking you. I'd started having some ideas and thoughts, but you know what? Good on you, Roxana. Good on you for beating me to the punch. Not how I pictured it would happen, but...
Did I steal your thunder?
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
But you know what? Roxana. There is no question in my mind. Of course. Absolutely. 100%. Poor baby in the background.
It's like, yeah!
It's like, yeah!
Yay!
Let's deal with one major life event at a time, though. So the answer is, of course, yes. But we'll talk about that more when a crisis has been averted.
Yeah. Sorry, you know me. I'm a lot softer than I look.
He will smile and embrace you again, tightly. In the interest of time, we're going to fast forward and assume that somehow Juan and Albion will be informed and they will be told that it's something very dire.
Yeah, I will tell them to come to the house, definitely.
And come to the house. And I will say that you will have ways to physically get there.
Okay, now you guys remember when we just used to hang around in the common room talking about...
I know.
Ooh. And now, hey guys, should I learn how to use a mass killing spell? Damn!
And when you guys arrive at the house, I'm going to say that Roxy's going to wait to explain the situation to you when everyone's settled. And what's going to happen is Aika has been busy ever since he found out what happened. He's been busy at the fireplace creating this new potion. And he takes something out from his pocket and he drops what looks like a strand of hair into the potion, and a big explosion happens as if activating the potion. And he ladles it up, and out pours into a murky, muddy, mud-like looking, thick, syrupy potion. And he says, well, if my calculations are correct, this will allow one more person to chime in. Bottoms up. And he will take a swig. He suddenly he'll drop the bottle, the empty bottle, and he'll start coughing. And if anyone tries to approach him, he'll hold up a hand and says, "Oh, yeah, it's working. It's working."
Why do you even?
He starts drooling a little bit and coughing, and then suddenly the coughing stops. And Brandon, are you there? Brandon Carr, are you there?
Yes, I've been here the whole time.
Yes, your spirit effectively has possessed Aika's body. So think, Patrick Swayze possessing Whoopi Goldberg, So you are Levi has now been taken and been possessed into Aika's body temporarily for this.
Okay. What is going on here?
Aika, are you okay?
I
ask
eat
you a question.
rocks.
What the fuck happened?
Rocks, is that you? One?
Yeah.
Al?
Ajika, are you okay?
Wait, hold on a
I-
minute. It doesn't sound like Aika at all. Levi?
Yeah, it's me, Levi.
Oh, and she gives Aika / Levi a big hug.
That
What's
fucking
happening? I was
madman.
just like, I don't know, playing tennis with Jesus, and now.
Sure, you are playing tennis with Jesus. Sure.
Wait,
Ah,
so heaven does exist? Wait,
well,
what?
well, you know, there's ghosts, so like spirits obviously exist in this world, so we know that there's an afterlife, right?
I mean, the fact that spirits exist doesn't mean that there's an afterlife. Necessarily.
Well, let me tell you, pal, there is.
Okay, I'm gonna stop drinking.
Yeah, you should probably not do anything that'll make, like, I don't know, a Muslim lady wish you to hell, because you don't want to go there, my friend.
So the Muslims rules apply?
It's really weird. There's like a bunch of different things, and I don't know how to explain it. All right, I don't know what it's like, but
I definitely 100% endorse Brandon like creating before our eyes the afterlife, the Harry Potter Wizarding World afterlife lore. So thank you.
you know, it's like really weird. Like all these like religions fighting over stuff. It's like it's really weird. There's like sections for everybody. If you're Muslim, you go over there. You're Christian, you go over there. But there's one thing in common. There's definitely just one hell everybody goes to. You don't want to.
I endorse the Simpsons interpretation of heaven. If you've ever seen that Simpsons episode.
The Catholic.
Catholics are over there. They have mixers though.
Oh yeah, you can definitely mingle. They don't. It's not
Mingle.
like surrogate. It's just like, hey, you know, there you go.
You know, we just opened up a new Scientology like section. You know, they're okay. Yeah.
There's a very, very small like followers of Jedis. It's really weird.
I go there all the time.
Yeah, that's like my
How is
favorite one. I hang out
Albion?
with them.
Yeah, how is Albion reacting to all
There's
this?
there's multiple implications that this has.
Al is definitely just like shaking his head, and he looks at Roxy and he goes, "I know you like your pranks, but this is too much for a prank. Like, what? Why are we even all here? Levi, it's great to see you. Roxy, what's going on? I don't have the emotional capability for another bad bomb to be dropped on us."
Oh my god. Everybody take a seat. Would everybody like some tea? Tea sounds nice. I'm going to get some tea. Would everybody like a splash of rum in their tea? We can do that too. Hot toddies for everybody. I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah, anything non-alcoholic. I think I'm done drinking.
Fun. You're having rum in your tea. I'm gonna go do that.
So how long I've been gone for, guys?
Levi just said to me that heaven exists. I'm not drinking anymore.
It's like fine.
Wait, Aika, can you hear us too? Aika?
What the hell is happening here?
Obviously, Levi is possessing Aika's body so that he can serve counsel in this meeting.
Hey, Aika's kind of fit, you know.
Yes, he is. Anyway, sorry.
He's kind of more that like slender tone build. He's not quite as bulky as I used to be.
How
Stop
is
it.
the thing dead?
It's nice actually. I got to go to an Elvis concert yesterday.
So the dead keep on. Who's up there?
a lot of people. There's like
Yeah, like
So, I feel like Levi would have been told that there's certain secrets about the afterlife that are supposed to be kept secret. So maybe, I probably shouldn't be telling you all this, but just forget what I just said.
No, silly me. You know, freaking Abraham Lincoln just told me the other day that I shouldn't say this stuff to mortals because you know it'll cause panic, and then like you'll go start trying to start your own religion. You know, you only need like 100 people to sign up for your religion for you to start getting space up there too. So
100 people is enough.
No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Don't do it. Don't do it. I promise. Don't do it.
Why don't we go and tell everybody? Heaven does really exist. People need to know.
Look, obviously, I'm fabricating some of my stuff. I wasn't really at an Elvis concert. It was more of a joke. There's a lot of stuff up there I can't talk about.
You know, normally I would tell you guys we need to stay focused, but Levi, have I missed this conversation so much?
I'm
Yeah, who
broken.
knows when the next time we'll have this? I think, like, yeah, this is crazy. So, like, what you guys call me here for?
Heaven is real, or it
One, I promise. Don't think too much about it.
I have something I need a little bit of advice on. And at this point, you guys can see that she's starting to get very upset. Like immediately, like as soon as the turn goes dark, she gets upset. I had a few visitors the other day. I had Anna Silva and my old headmaster come to my door.